Oliver from Rugby League, in my opinion, here. And today I am joined by Brisbane Broncos player and PNG international captain, David Mead. How are you today, David?
Hey, Oliver, I'm good, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Now, David, I sent you the questions before for the quiz. I said you could research if you wanted to. Did you do any research? Are you confident?
Mate, I did a little bit, but not confident at all because, I feel those questions are a bit tricky, but I'll try my best, yeah.
I like to throw a few curveballs in there. Obviously, you've been at multiple clubs throughout your career. So today, I'll mainly be quizzing you on the Broncos as they are your current club, but I've also chucked in a couple of Titans and Catalans, Dragons questions in there. But before we get started, David, I believe you have started up a new podcast where recently you've been interviewing other PNG internationals such as yourself. Tell us a bit about the podcast and what people can expect if they tune in.
Mate, it was mainly about youth empowerment. That's how it got started. I got asked by a newspaper in PNG just to write like a 250 word to 300 word youth empowerment message each week. I was doing that, and then after a couple of weeks, I thought, there was some positive response from PNG, and then I thought I could express I could get the message out there a lot more powerful, and not just coming from me, but other players as well. And the thought of starting a podcast was always exciting for me, and I guess I saw that as an opportunity to start one up and base it around youth empowerment. But what I'm realizing more is the more people I talk to on the podcast, the more I realize that they've all got their unique messages that they can send out to the youth to empower them, not just in PNG but Australia and across the Pacific as well.
Yeah, well, it's great that you're able to use that platform to get that message out, as you said, not only to the youth over in PNG, but here in Australia as well. Okay, so we're going to jump into the quiz. The current leader is Griffin Neame from the North Queensland Cowboys. He's gotten 7 out of 10, so that's what we're looking for in terms of taking the lead. Other than that, we have 6.5s. I actually quizzed former USA international, who I believe he would have faced off against in the 2017 World Cup, Christian Freed. He's a massive Broncos fan, so I quizzed him on the Broncos. He got 6.5. So in terms of, I guess, this predominantly being a Broncos quiz, you want to be hitting that 6.5.
I like his chances better than mine.
Well, we kick things off with how many times have the Broncos been minor premiers? I'll help you out a little bit. I'll give you a bit of a hint. So the Broncos have won the premiership 6 times in their history. Every time they've won the minor premiership, they've gone on to win the premiership. So it can't be any more than 6.
Okay, so I'm going to go. It's only one number, isn't it? I can't have 2. So I'll say 3 times. This one I didn't research.
That's all right.
I'll say 3.
You know what? It's a respectable effort. However, the answer is 4. So they won the minor premiership 1992, the first year they won the comp. 97, that was the Super League year. 98, the first year of the National Rugby League, and in 2000. So the only times they've won the comp when they've not been minor premiers, 1993 against the Dragons and 2006, the last time they won the comp against the Melbourne Storm. So we're 0 from 1, but respectable effort. You're only 1 off.
Okay.
Question 2. Who was the last Broncos player to make their New South Wales Origin debut? A bit of a typo there from myself.
See, I googled this one, but there was no real answer on there. But I'm going to guess Payne Haas because he's still playing with them.
Correct.
I don't know. Yes? Okay. Awesome.
Payne Haas, 2019. So there you go. Yeah, still playing for New South Wales. A great player for the Broncos and has been great for New South Wales as well. Is now a 2-time State of Origin winner. The next question, though, it's a bit hard. There are plenty of them. How many Broncos players have played for Queensland?
I couldn't find this one on Google. I'm going to have this. I'm just going to say 40. Since is that in the current squad? Is it or since Origin all time? Okay. I'm going to go 40, and it could be way off.
Okay, it's wrong. It's not way off. It's sort of there's been 59, so you're closer than then you're not. So that's right. That's a bit of a there's been a whole heap of them. There's been more Broncos to play for Queensland than any other club. So we're 1 from 3, but still a respectable effort. The ones we've gotten wrong are still, as I said, respectable. Okay. What is the Broncos' longest winning streak?
Longest winning streak, I'm going to say, this is a guess too, 10 games.
Again, close, but no cigar. 12 games between July 6th, 1997 and April 12th, 1998.
All right. I'd have no memory of that. I was in PNG at that time, so we only watched one game on a Sunday afternoon or a Friday night, and I didn't really keep up too much with footy there.
Yeah, right. So over in PNG at that time, were those games broadcast live? Like, how were you able to watch those games?
They were broadcast. They were the only 2 games that we'd get each week, on a Friday night and then Sunday afternoon. Yeah,
all right. Well, again, another, I'd say, respectable effort. I mean, technically, you could say that winning streak was across 2 different competitions. One was Super League, one was the NRL. However, the Broncos have put this as their official winning streak. So I've got to give it to them there. So that's one from 4 so far. We're still doing okay.
Yeah, we still got hope.
How many players from the Broncos 2017 how many players from PNG's 2017 Rugby League World Cup squad have played for the Broncos? I'll give you a little hint. You're one of them.
Yeah, thanks. I thought that'd be one of my guesses. So I'm one, and I believe James Seguiaro played a game as well for the Broncos. So just the 2 of us.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, yourself and James.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. So we're back. We're 2 from 5. I thought I had to chuck in a PNG involved question in there somewhere, and of course, if we're talking PNG and the Broncos, you're likely part of the answer. So yourself and James Seguiaro.
Nice.
Who is the only Broncos player to ever win the Dally M medal? Now, it's an obvious player, but the thing is with the Broncos, there are multiple obvious players who could have won.
For sure.
So
I'm going to go with Alfie Langer.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
yeah, because I remember I chat about Darren Lockyer. I was going to say him, but Darren Lockyer, the only player to not get one. There's a bit of controversy around that, so yeah.
Yeah, so back in 1996, Alfie Langer would win the Dally M medal, and we're now 3 from 6, so you've got it back to sort of half. We can go over half here. However, we now move on to the Gold Coast Titans questions.
Yep.
Who is the all-time leading try scorer at the Titans? It was you, but someone has since overtaken you.
Oh, this is an easy one. It's my good mate, Anthony Don.
Yeah. Anthony Don currently has 85 tries, of course, retiring at the end of season 2021. So we're now 4 from 7.
That's good. I gave him a ring when he overtook my try scoring last year, I believe it was. And when he answered the phone the night after the game, he goes, "Hey, number 2, how are you, mate?" So he was rubbing it in. So that one was an easy one to remember, that one.
Easy because of the insults that he received after the fact.
Yeah, plenty of humility, Boogs.
Yeah, well, anyway, 4 from 7. As we head into the second Titans question, in what year did the Titans progress the furthest they ever have in a season? This is while you were at the club as well. So you should be able to figure this one out. Yeah,
this was in 2010. I remember missing out on the semi-finals that year. I was pretty upset. So it was against the Roosters up at Suncorp in the prelim final.
Correct. 2010 preliminary final. As a Titans fan, I love talking about season 2010, not necessarily the prelim itself. But you're correct. And I believe we are now 5 from 8. So you can get 6, 7.
Not bad.
You can be tied first overall. But now we head to the Catalans Dragons questions. These 2 questions, it was hard to find the history of the club. So they're 2 sort of similar questions. Let's see how you go. The first one, in what year did the Catalans Dragons first play in a Challenge Cup final?
This was in 2007. I remember. I'm reading that correct, aren't I? Yeah.
Yeah, first play. Yeah.
The first play, yeah, 2007. I think actually, I'm saying this confidently, but I think it was 2007. I remember being over there and seeing a couple of photos over there, so I'll go with that.
Your confidence has paid off. It was 2007. They would go down to St. Helens 30-8. They actually joined Super League in 2005. So 2 years after, they would, go on to play in a Challenge Cup. Final question. We're 6 from 8. So this one, to jump up tied first with Griffin Neame from the Cowboys. In what year did the Catalans Dragons win their first Challenge Cup?
Sorry, Griffin. This one takes the lead. This is an easy one. In what year did the Catalan Dragons win their first? This is 2018.
Yep.
I was lucky enough to be a part of that squad, and I really enjoyed that moment. So this is an easy answer. This one.
Yeah, 20-14 against the Warrington Wolves, and that gives us a final score today of 7 out of 10. So you've sort of bumped Griffin off to the side here. You're both on top of the ladder in terms of the rugby league, in my opinion, quiz, which you guys should be because you're both current players in the NRL. So it's good to know that you guys have a bit of history knowledge, I guess you could say. Other than that, David, how do you think you went?
I'm happy with how I finished it off. I had a very poor start.
Yeah.
I was a bit rattled. Maybe I should have done my research properly, although I had a couple of minutes before 1:30, so I didn't really get time to research much. But I'm happy with how I finished off the quiz there.
Yeah, and if we take a quick look back, the questions you got wrong. So the first one, how many times have the Broncos won the minor premiership? You guessed 3. It was 4. You were only 1 off. How many Broncos have played for Queensland? You guessed 40. It was 59. That's sort of a wide-ended question. You were closer to the answer than you weren't. And then what is the Broncos' longest winning streak? You guessed 10. It was 12. You're only 2 off. And I guess technically as well, it was across 2 competitions, but it still counts. So look, those 3, you were close to, at least I'd say, getting that question about the streak and the minor premiership question.
Yeah.
So you could have ended up with 9. Anyway, it was still a respectable 7th. You're tied first. I'm sure that means the world to you that you're tied first in this quiz. Yes. But other than that, David, before I let you go, tell the people where they can find the aforementioned David Mead podcast.
Yeah, thanks for the questions. Well, that was a lot of fun. I won't be too harsh on myself for the 3 errors, but I'll be happy with the 7 out of 10. With the podcast, it's the David Mead podcast, just on YouTube and most podcasting platforms. It comes out every Monday. I've had 7 episodes out so far. It's had a great response, so yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I hope to continue it into the distant future. I want to keep carrying it out as long as I can. So thank you.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys. Make sure you check out the David Mead podcast, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in here today.